Welcome back to the show. Today I'm joined with two very special guests. We have the usual Mo vlog.
I feel like at this point I'm a co-host.
You're a co-host, man. We signed.
Yes, sir.
and we also have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Billionaire himself, Saygin Yelchin.
Woo!
Put in some applause.
So another episode of Ahmed Talks, where we do all the talking.
And I do all the listening.
Yes, sir.
Guys, this show is about getting advice. You know, I'm on my way. I need advice from people around me. These two have done so many successful things in their life, and they've made so many achievements that instead of me listening to them alone, I'm sharing it with you guys. So here we go. Today,
Saygin is of course the sponsor of today's video, and that's how Ahmed upgraded.
That's why the sound quality is so
That's
good.
why everything is so good today.
that's why everything is so nice.
By the way-
Sell any car. Thank you for sponsoring. They didn't sponsor.
No, we're kidding, guys. But obviously,
But they should have.
We have a special episode, so we have to upgrade. You know, we have to upgrade.
All right, guys.
How did it look before?
Today
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. But listen, guys, we're budgeting.
We're on the way up. You know, it's gonna become something big in the
Alright,
future.
no small talk. That's not what
Okay.
people are here for.
Alright.
Let's get straight into the news.
All right.
Because the
Five.
battery's running out,
Yeah,
right?
the battery's on.
Battery's running out.
No
time is
sound, no
ticking.
battery.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's do it. Come on, it's just three businessmen having a chat.
1.5.
One future inshallah businessman,
Yeah.
maybe 10% chance. How's the ice?
The ice is amazing. Alright.
Alright, first things first. Today we're gonna discuss 5 millionaire daily, but for Saygin we'll call it billionaire, but you know,
Yeah.
5 billionaire habits daily that you do daily that can help you along the way. Let's do one each. Starting with Saygin.
I start?
Yeah.
Action.
Okay.
That's the habit.
Oh, that's the habit?
Action, yeah, exactly. So you have to have a bias towards action. You know what that means?
Yeah.
You'd rather do it than talk about it. 'Cause there's only two types of people, right?
Yeah.
The ones that do things and the ones that talk about it.
Right.
Okay.
That's it. Action. So next.
I even heard like some people they say like once you talk about something, you feel less wanting to do it because you feel like everyone already knows like your plans, so you feel like already happy about. I guess it's as if you've done it. That's why it's best not to talk about it and just.
Or you build up social pressure and you actually do it.
Yeah.
That's how
It
I
could
did
work
it
either
with
way.
fitness.
That's how you do it with fitness. That's a lot of the time. That's fitness. Whenever you want to get into
Exactly.
shape, you tell everyone, "Yo, I'm starting it," and then if you don't do it,
Yeah, I guess it works both ways.
I'd say okay. Actions one. I'd say preparation. You know, a lot of people go into stuff, and I know a lot of times people say, okay, do something, which is right, like do it. But if you want to get to that next stage in it, like once you've already started doing it, in the future, let's say for videos and stuff, you need to now start preparing better stuff. You know, in business, I guess you can prepare for the next big move. So preparation, I guess.
Yeah, and mine's kind of similar to that, leading off from that a bit. Planning, you know.
That's
Having
preparation. That's preparation.
Okay, mine is
That's
more like-
preparation.
Okay.
Don't steal my line.
Okay, mine is more like having goals, you know? They say without a goal you can't score. So mine would be like having goals, and when I say goals I don't mean something like I want to be successful or I want to be rich. You need to have exact goals, how much exactly you want, you know? You need to have it like in your vision, you know what I mean? Exact numbers. Next. Let's just skip through mine as fast as we can and get to the real people.
You're running out of battery, right?
Ah.
Yeah,
For
that's
me,
like
the next one
one.
is positivity. So basically, if you ask somebody, like an entrepreneur, actually I can put it the other way around. I've never seen a pessimistic, negative, successful entrepreneur.
That's interesting actually. You know, me and Mo were having a talk about this the other day. I was thinking like, because I'm just playing devil's advocate here, yeah? A lot of people say that positivity, it kind of makes you, not like delusional, but like you kind of only see the good parts, and sometimes the bad parts is what you need to motivate you. Like for example, if you're like always thinking everything's gonna work out, you may not get all the like safeguards you could set, or you know, the safety measures you could take because you're just positive. But what do you think? You think positivity is the only way?
100%. I think because there's two ways of looking at problems. One is as a problem and an obstacle, or
Yeah.
you look at it as a challenge, and then as an opportunity. Because if there's a problem, there's a business. There's no business which is successful which doesn't solve a problem, right? So if you look at problems as opportunities and challenges you should take, that's that's when you actually reach success. So basically you say, for example, when we started our businesses, we always said, let's say in fashion or in automotive. In both of the industries, I've started successful companies, right?
Yeah.
And in automotive, for example, I didn't have any clue. So I didn't say, oh, how do you buy and sell cars? Right? That's not the question I asked. I said,
What's the
how
problem?
should we buy and sell cars? Right? How should the industry be? So basically, you look at how the optimal world should be, right? And then you build processes based
In
on
30 minutes. That's the only
that
way.
was the, I thought because that was I looked at selling used cars was a problem,
Long issue. It's
right?
very long.
Broken experience.
Extenuating.
So what did I do? I said, why can't we do it in 30 minutes? And that's how Selenica was born. So
Positivity.
Yeah.
Well,
I think just hard work. I mean, it's a basic one to say.
It's a
but
no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, but there's no one that's really made it without work ethic, you know?
yeah, you hear it all the time, but to be honest, if you have that, to be honest, the only thing you have is the only thing you need sometimes. If you can just work hard day in, day out.
Hard work beats talent.
When talent
Fact.
doesn't work hard. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Exactly. Exactly.
Next caption.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I make most captions if you don't know.
Yeah, some of them. The ones
The
that
good
sound,
ones.
the ones that sound really like
Egotistical.
egotistical. Ahmed, my favorite position, CEO. Ahmed.
Okay, next one.
Is this
I'd
a
say-
collection of like Mimi quotes?
Mimi, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
every weird caption I have on my Instagram is probably written by him.
Man, I started this as like a flex, but now it's turning into an insult. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I'll just say the next one before it gets
Yeah.
too insulting. Next one, I'd say budgeting. I think if you want to be successful in life, you need to know how to budget, how to spend the money you have, how much to invest with the money you have. Like, investing is obviously a different habit, but just in terms of budget, in terms of one habit, budgeting. You know where your money is going every day. Track your expenses. See how much much you're making and where your money is going. Next.
Because it's kind of unfair because I've written a book just now, right?
Yeah.
It's not out yet. When it's out, you need to know.
Link in bio.
Can you pre-order it?
No.
You can
Not yet.
pre-order it, but the link is not out yet, so you have to be a bit patient. But I have very organized thoughts around this question. That's why I can answer it easily. So the next one is reputation. I mean, there's a few others. Why I say reputation is because successful entrepreneurs, they value their reputation so much that they guard it, right? So
Yeah.
basically, how do you build reputation? What is reputation worth, right? So I analyzed, for example, the last 500 years, actually thousands of years, but the focus was on the 500 years, who were the most influential people in the world, right? And then figured out, okay, in which areas they were, and the details are in the book. But generally you can figure out that all of them have something in common. They have very strong financial support, right? Scientists, entrepreneurs, even the politicians.
They all need money.
How do you get financial support, right? By people investing into you. Either they invest money, they invest time, so they become your circle. And you cannot attract investors if you don't have trust, right?
And trust leads reputation.
If you have nothing to lose, that's a problem. But if you have your reputation to lose,
Then people know you. Your bum is on the line.
so I was young, right? When I came to Dubai, I was 24, right? And my first company, I raised $1.9 million, which is not a lot. I mean, it is.
It
a
was
lot.
at that time.
For me, as a fresh grad student, there was a lot, and then later on, much more. So why did I continue to get financial support? Is because I valued my reputation, and I would never cross the boundaries of ethics.
You're a man of principles.
And that's another thing. So you basically have to stick to. If you promise something, you better make sure you keep it, because you'd rather not promise it.
Yeah.
If I could give you one advice, it's keep your promises. Because if you break that, you're not only breaking that promise, you're breaking your entire reputation.
Yeah.
Promise less, over deliver.
Trust is like a paper, Once you crush it, even if you open it back again, it's never the same, It's never that clean, crease-free paper anymore, It always has like dents in it and stuff. I'd say also next habit, in my opinion, discipline. This is something I've learned like seeing these two. They're always, and that's even like something like when you say you promise, even not only for other people, even to yourself. When you promise yourself that you're gonna do something, like let's say if I tell myself tomorrow I'm gonna go to the gym, if I don't go to the gym tomorrow, my body will know, like my brain will know that, okay, when Ahmed makes promises to himself, it's not serious. So the next time I say I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow, my brain's not preparing for it. They know Ahmed's just saying that. Ahmed always says, it's like the boy who cried wolf. The wolf, 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 wolf. And then when the wolf's there, nobody believes it anymore because you're so used to promising yourself and then lying to yourself. So you need to have discipline. And I think discipline is one of the biggest forms of like self-love that you can do. If you can tell yourself that I'm not gonna have this coffee now, I'm gonna have it later, and you delay that gratification. Some people may say you're being hard on yourself, but I think that's self-love. You're telling yourself that my goals in the future are more important than my Netflix show that I want to watch today. My goals in the future are more important than chilling with my friends and going to a party.
Alright, Ahmed, get to the serious questions.
I was going off on a tangent.
Yeah, you went off. So no, okay, enough habits. What's the next question?
Okay.
Come on, Ahmed, we need some juiciness in this topic, man.
Okay, Saygin, I want to start with you. Let's get right into it. You're a man with your hands in probably hundreds of different pots. What women?
Wait,
God.
I just had to say that.
Not women.
No, you set me up for that line.
Guys, I don't know why Mo said that. Saygin's actually very strict.
Very strict
on the subject.
Yeah.
But anyways, Saygin is a man with his hand in many different pots, and he's doing so many things right now. So let's jump into some of the different things you're doing and your philosophy about why you're doing so many things at the same time.
I mean, I'm not doing so many different things. I am actually focused.
Yeah.
So one is investing.
Yeah.
But within investments, I do many things. That's true. But I'm focused on investing. One thing, I invest in medical research. That is on my philanthropy part. But I do invest into startups, right? That with Startup Hero, I do invest. So I have, I don't know, just today I did 3 startup investments. Mostly, actually, almost exclusively all tech companies, or tech-based companies.
Nice.
Consumer-facing. So this is what I'm doing.
You have the business in Dubai, selling the car.
Yeah, and then I'm operational, obviously, as a CEO of the Salary Car Group.
And Kaisha, which is the same version but Saudi.
Which belongs to the group, exactly.
And you have the studio in your office.
I do have a music and video production company, true.
Music and video production.
I just wrote a book.
Yes. Author.
Yes.
Influencer, some might say as well.
By the way, guys, I just want to say this before Sai continues. He actually wrote the book, so it's not like, I know a lot of people like they get people to write it for them and then they claim to write it. Like, guys, I was once driving by the main road in Dubai, Sheikh Zayed, and I looked. It was like 10 p.m. and he was sitting inside his office. Like, you can actually see his office from the main road in Dubai. And I had to give him a call, like, yo, it's 10 p.m. Why are you in your office? He was like, I'm writing my book. And I was like,
just sitting there writing.
I was like, are you kidding me? It's 10 p.m. Go home and relax. But he was actually writing.
No, it took 1.5 years.
1.5 years.
So 1 year I was thinking about it. I was just jotting down notes, and then actually 1.5 years I was really writing. It's around 300 pages, so it's a lot, right?
I'm buying the book. Supporting,
once it's out. So
for sure, me too. I'm gonna make a library here at the back, and I'm just gonna stock it with Saygin's books as like the permanent backdrop for my podcast.
I like that.
Anyways, so any future plans? Oh wait, let's talk a bit about time management. Sorry, time management. You're doing so many different things. How do you manage your time?
Prioritization. It's very simple. I think it's clear. Everything we have is 24 hours a day. So what I always do is I call this allocation of mental energy. It's very simply explained. So it sounds complicated, but basically means, you know, if we're honest with ourselves, we have approximately 2 hours of mental capacity where we can do peak performance, right? Then we have another 3 hours of high performance times, and then we have the rest is medium to low. So what people do is they leave this allocation of this energy you have just
all over the place,
just to fade. What I would do is I would really manage that. So you say, look, when I have peak performance energy, my mental capacity, or you can call it your cognitive bandwidth, that's when I will focus on my plans and crises. Right?
But how do you know when's that time?
So basically you can, people are usually, when you feel fit, right? It's basically an hour or 2 after you woke up. Usually that's when you feel fit, right?
That's the growth.
If you're a night owl, maybe it might be at 1 a.m., but I don't think it's very productive because most of the people will be sleeping. So when you were really collaborative and when everybody's awake and you just woke up maybe an hour or 2 ago, that's probably peak performance. But you'll feel it. It goes with brainwaves. If you want to go into details, you can do that. I don't want to go into this. So generally, you put those peak performance times into the crises and plans. What is a crisis? High importance, high urgency. What is a plan? right? High importance, low urgency.
Right.
This is basically where you put your peak performance time. And then when you want to chill with friends, right?
That's also important.
That is low to medium mental energy. For example, now this is now evening, late, right? I did all my meetings today. I did all the stuff I do.
You're done for
now.
the day.
Yeah, now I don't need to have peak performance. I just have low to medium, and that's perfect. So you don't waste time.
Yeah, but your low to medium performance is like high performance for average.
I have a question, okay? So, I know Saygin does a lot of investing, but is there one investment you missed out on that really
so many.
No, but like, what's the worst one you missed out on?
That's a good question.
The worst investment like that could have really made you an extra 100 million or something, you know?
Extra
or a billion, you know? And I know he has a few ones he missed out on because I've been with him for years.
I mean, I'm not gonna mention the company name, but look, last year, if I would have put $50,000 only, it would today be $5 million, right?
Oh my
and
god.
And it's just growing.
That's 100x.
Gee.
And that is, the company is just picking up so fast. But
And you had the opportunity like in front of you?
Look, don't look back. Like positivity, optimism. So what I did is, I missed out on that company.
But you went.
And today, I invested into the same copycat in Australia, Japan, and Canada.
Wow, nice.
So basically, I said, okay,
You learned from that.
I missed out in that country, but I'm going to do it in another country.
And I know this sounds really weird to say, guys, but sometimes you can have the same idea, but if you apply it to a different region, it can do just as well. So like you said, it's a copycat company in different regions, guys. And just because it's a copycat doesn't mean they can't do just as
agree.
good, if not possibly better sometimes.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I mean, now
Because now you have previous
I remember
data.
all the things. What my biggest problem was, and you can ask many investors, selling too early.
Sanitary.
Whereas it's so crazy. Like I sell and then
Wait, so you had the money there and you removed it and then it
no,
could
it
have
was another company.
Okay.
So basically, I had a company. I had shares in the company, and it was doing okay, right? So I sold during the opportunity, and then last year they sold for $360 million.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, no, like I had a significant share. So basically, it happens. So selling too early is probably one of the biggest mistakes. But I'm not really regretting that.
But
There's
guys-
so many other. Every day there's an opportunity.
And that's the thing, guys. Sometimes people always look at it as like, oh my god, we missed out on this and this. But number one, you don't know the outcome. And I want to go to crypto when I talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Everybody looks at crypto, Dogecoin, 1000x what it was, or you know, like all these coins are flying up in price. But there's also 1,000 stories of 1,000 coins that dipped.
It's very easy to go in the FOMO and be like, look at this guy, he doubled his money, tripled his money, and be like,
But you forget about how many people lost. Because
Exactly.
there's like 1,000 altcoins that lose money every day. But
Yeah.
you just focus on Dogecoin, Shiba, SafeMoon. You know, like the
if you look
three
at the coins 5 years ago, there was a lot of coins at that time that people were like, this is the future, and nobody even knows them today.
Yeah, so and
That's called an impact bias. So you basically overestimate the sensation of happiness. when you
Yeah, it's
would
like
have
hype.
that.
It's like a facade.
Right? And
It's a
you're-
bubble.
I don't look. I don't regret not investing with the things I don't understand. Right?
Yeah.
If I don't understand what I call the value creation mechanism, and I didn't invest and it blew up, I don't regret it because you know
You don't know
I
what it was.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. But if it's something I really understand, I had an opportunity. I usually say I need to have three things. Right? I need to know the founder, I need to know the business model, and I need to know the region. At least two of those.
Yeah.
Right? Three is perfect. If I have at least two, so if I know the founder and the region, I'm happy not knowing the business model. Or if I know the business model and the region, I'm happy if I'm not really familiar with the founder. So two of those three. But if I don't know anything, right? I don't know the founder, I don't really understand the business model, and I don't know the region, then I don't invest.
And guys, sometimes it's not necessarily you're too early to sell. Okay, guys. So I want to say one thing. Sometimes when companies sell, they usually sell to a bigger company. That's how they can afford
They
to
get
buy it,
acquired,
right? But sometimes, let's say whatever value this company had, because the bigger company acquires it, they instantly become worth a lot more. So I'll give an example, guys. A lot of you may know this, but Saygin was a shareholder in Souq.com.
Massive shareholder.
And they sold for about $1 billion to Amazon. But of course, the second they sell to Amazon, the company's gonna be worth 3-4x because
Yeah.
now you have a parent company worth 200,
That
300
everybody
million.
knows, established, but multinational.
So, of course, the value is going to go up. So now, let's say, for example, if we go back and say, let's say now Souq.com, which is now Amazon A, if that's worth 4 or 5 billion now, that doesn't necessarily mean they sold too early.
I tell you something, it's created a lot of millionaires. Not only like the top level management, but also Amazon had a really good
FBA, Amazon FBA.
No.
Okay.
Amazon had, during the acquisition, a very good principle. They gave everyone shares.
Yeah.
Amazon shares.
No way.
This is 3 years ago, right?
No
and
way.
then all those Amazon shares, they're restricted stock units, so RSUs. They basically gave it to them and said,
You have to hold on.
to motivate them to stay. And these shares, obviously, you see what happened to Amazon.
Oh, so they've all been going up.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So even if it was a few $100,000, they now are worth
Maybe.
maybe a million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this whole deal created really a lot of. So first of all, it was perfect for consumers, right? Having Amazon in our region is really important.
Yeah.
It was perfect for the employees, but it was perfect for other entrepreneurs because we kind of showed, look, you can make great deals here in tech.
Yeah.
So others get more investment.
That's stunning.
Okay. Also, what Mo was saying is interesting as well because Mo was saying that even if there's someone that already exists, let's say you want to create a business and somebody's already created it, it really doesn't mean that your opportunity is gone.
I mean, I've done this multiple times in my YouTube type of stuff, and I think Saygins also applied that to a few businesses, and it has worked. Because sometimes it's regions are missing out on that business, so it's an opportunity to bring it here.
So the most successful companies in the world are all implementations.
Yeah.
They are not innovations, right? They are not inventions. So I really believe that the best companies are founded by best implementers, not inventors.
Yeah.
Like Google is not an invention, Facebook is not an invention. Like all the big
Like how many
companies-
search engines have, like before
There's-
Google,
there's
Yahoo was
so many.
popular.
Like sell any car is not an invention.
Yeah.
We have innovated within a business model.
Right,
so
right.
we have invented processes which are better, right?
You don't need to be the
But
first.
we were not the first company.
Not the
buying
pioneer,
cars,
yeah.
Right? We were not the first company sell fashion online. In the Middle East, we've obviously imported an idea, but then we adapted it to the region. So, first of all, even if you were an inventor, right? Tell me a company, and usually that's a minority of companies which really have a first mover advantage. Like imagine you just invent something. As soon as you hit the market, right? 3 months later, 6 months later, somebody else knows your business.
Yeah.
So what type of first mover advantage do you have? 3 to 6 months?
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
easily catch up. So I think bad execution, right, can easily be overtaken by a better executioner,
Right.
a better implementer.
I want to hear. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I want to hear a story from your life growing up that's like inspirational and from you as well. A story. But you start. Bro, you're a motivational speaker. You should have these at the tip of your tongue.
Motivational.
No, like I mean that's what you do. Talks. You do talks.
So what do you want to know?
Like maybe a story from childhood. Maybe you have something on your mind that's like a funny story that like you went through.
Funny story.
Yeah.
I have a
That
lot
you
of-
went through. With a bit of a meaning.
I tell you something. I think this is not funny at all. It's actually the opposite of funny, but it tells you what drives me, right?
Okay.
So when I was 8 years old, my sister was born, and then 5 months later, she had a seizure, and I saw her in the kitchen,
Oh, no.
and she was completely blue, right? So
Yeah.
I was 8.
You were 8
and-
years old?
I was 8 and a half. Yes, she was 5 months old. And then I said, what's going on? So I screamed, my mother came, and then they left. And they spent 2 years in hospital, right?
Your sister spent 2 years. in
2
hospital?
years in hospital, and she was diagnosed with epilepsy. And then I said, okay, when I was 10 approximately, I said, okay, how can I solve this problem? And I said, I'm going to just make so much money
Yeah.
that I can buy her health. Right? That's how a 10-year-old thinks. So I said, I'm going to become a professional football player. Right? Because that's how I
that's
think.
how you
That's
thought
how
you
you
could
make
make
money,
money,
right?
yeah.
So I worked and I played until the highest league, right? And I figured out you can't really make that much money.
It's capped.
I mean, if you're the 500th best football player in the world,
Yeah.
you might make a couple million.
And only for 10 years, like your prime years.
Unless you're the best
The
in
number
world,
one,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but that's very
And that's also like I'm gonna be honest.
10
it's
years.
Genetics to a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot. It's
a lot more than just
it's
work.
hundreds of millions of kids who want to become that number
Yeah.
one. But if you're number 500 as an entrepreneur in the world, you're a multi-billionaire. So basically, I switched to that, and I'm shortcutting a lot here, right? So
Yeah. There was a surgeon phase as well. I know about that.
exactly. So basically, I then said, wow, this should drive me, right? You can't buy health, but you can buy medical research.
Yeah.
You can invest into that, and that drives me because that's something which is larger than just making money.
But that must have been really sad, huh?
It is still sad.
And-
we achieved a lot in the meantime.
Right.
So she's seizure free now.
Is she okay?
Now she, I mean, there's levels to it, right? So she's seizure free. She has less side effects of the medication. So we achieved that. But generally, if I give you tips, so basically, what's the purpose? Right? What are you striving for? Is it what is your then what?
That's your biggest goal.
Yeah. I mean, if it's your house, then I can ask you then what.
Right.
Right? And you say another house, then what? A private jet, yeah, then what? So what's the last then what you answer? And that is the ultimate purpose.
And that is curing your sister.
For me, yes, but for everybody else,
They have their own
it's
different
something
purpose,
else.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your purpose?
Well.
Do you know it yet? Maybe some people don't know
I
it
don't
yet.
think I necessarily know it. Like, I think for me it was more like, I think there was just a phase, like, guys, so I don't know if you know this, but at one point my sister worked, she did real estate, stuff like that, so she was actually really supporting the family, you know, and at one point the work wasn't as good anymore, but I'm not gonna say we were broke or anything.
The
you
market
know?
was not.
The market was down, so we ended up moving back to doing our studies. So like 2006 to 8, my sister did real estate. Then you had the whole Lehman Brothers crash, which was like a global crash.
Real estate crash,
So
yeah.
when the real estate crashed, what was it? Lehman, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
The
were,
market crashed.
yeah, market crashed, and after that we were just going off kind of like savings. But she made a really good amount of money. And then after that, I think it was at one point where
That's when she bought the Hurricane, right?
No. So yeah, no. When the crash happened, we went to UK. We did our studies, and then when she came back, she bought the Hurricane.
Anyways, yeah.
But then she was also doing actually a few things with art. So she was a hustler. You know,
She's a hustler.
she made money. I remember she even sold 2 paintings, humongous paintings, maybe the size of this wall,
Wow.
to some guy that lived in Emirates Hills, which is like the most expensive area.
Wow.
And by the way, the guy, he cut 5,000 because she didn't deliver it to him. So like, you know,
What?
these business guys, they're strict,
strict,
you know,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
guys. So that's the, even though it's like she was selling to very rich people, like they do cut you off if you don't, like, you know.
So anyways, continue what
But
you
anyway,
were
so
saying.
she was hustling, and at one point I realized like there was not much happening, and like obviously the savings are decreasing, so I just
You had to
it was-
step up.
Yeah, so we were like planning: are we gonna stay here? Are we gonna move? And it's expensive, you know, like especially if you're trying to live like a pretty big life like we do. So that's when I really was like, okay, you know what? I'm the guy in the house. I'm like 20 years old now. Let me start doing something.
Yeah.
So that's when I did.
That
YouTube.
must have been a lot of pressure.
That's when you met me, right?
Yeah, I think I met Saygin like a year later. So Saygin saw like the videos, like, who is this kid that just started blowing up on YouTube?
And I said the same thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because I was probably like, not the first, but like.
You were the first. I'll
No,
say
no,
it.
no, no, I wasn't the first. I know there was a lot of.
You were the first good one.
the first, but possibly good one. And I remember at the time there was people who were like, I remember there was other YouTubers that I'd compete with. I was like, he just hit 5,000 subscribers. I need to hit 5,000.
Yeah.
But now looking back at it, like, literally, I'm not saying that to diss anyone.
Yeah.
None of them passed 100K. The people that at the time I thought I was
Yeah,
like, you
yeah,
know, competing with, but.
But it must have been a lot of pressure for you. Like I imagine at 20 years old, guys, you're now the man of the house, and you get a lot more responsibilities
Yeah.
than you thought you'd ever have. You know, and you have to step up. And some people, you know, some people they crack. You know, they get the but you manage to handle the
Yeah,
pressure.
and I think especially with social media nowadays, you get a lot of backlash, you know, especially like people I guess didn't understand it because they saw us with money, but it's like, why'd you have money but you're trying to make videos for money? But
Right.
they don't realize the circumstances. Well, yes, we had the savings.
we had
but
money, but now there's no new sources.
there's no new sources, and I don't want to just sit and rely on money. And that's okay. This is another topic I want to get on. It's like, you know, when they say kids that come from a rich family, like they've got it easy. Well, yes, but if they choose not to work, it's different than if a rich kid starts working.
I
right?
heard a statistic. The average wealthy family loses majority of its wealth by the third generation.
Probably true.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Because I guess, you know, when you don't have the if you're just that person that's just gonna rely on your parents, then you're not gonna step up, you know, like how
Yeah.
you did. So yeah, it's good stuff.
First generation millionaire. Saygin saying. I don't even know what that word really means. It's like the first person in your family to be a millionaire?
That's correct.
Yeah. I'm trying to. We made it!
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. We really appreciate it, and let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Check out their social medias. And yeah, anything you want to say? Any last words?
Hopefully, guys.
Last word of advice.
And by the way, guys, okay.
Self-made millionaire.
I swear I'm not even saying this, guys, but Ahmed is probably one of the biggest hustlers I know for his age. Like he moves and he works and. Okay, guys, a lot of you might not know this, but Ahmed has actually made me 6 figures himself. You've put 6 figures in my pocket.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, guys. So I actually do a lot of work with Ahmed. So facts, Ahmed has put 6 figures in my pocket and about 5 figures in his own, you know, because business goes both ways, right? So
the whole team eats.
So yeah, everyone needs. That's what I'm saying. For his age, he does a lot of work. So
you know, when you hang out with if you hang out with 5 successful people, you'll be the 6th, you know. And if you hang out with 5 useless people, you'll be the 6th, you know. But I really appreciate Mo, Saygin, and Mo especially because really he helped me out a lot with a lot of advice. I really, bro, if I didn't know you, I don't know if I'd be working this hard day to day out.
Guys, I feel like Saygin passed it to me, I passed it to Ahmed, and it's like, it's going down, you know?
It's going
Everyone
down,
has,
yeah.
so I'm Saygin's prodigy, and Ahmed's my prodigy, so it's like, it's going down.
Yeah, find somebody, hang out with successful people, they'll teach you, you know?
Yes,
successful, hardworking, ambitious people, that's who you need to hang out with. Saygin, any last words, any piece of advice before we run it out?
Of course. I wouldn't call it my last words. It's really sad.
My last words,
Last
words. After Ahmed's interview, Saygin.
Saygin had his last words. No, last words in the video.
Guys, subscribe and like this video. I think that's my last words.
Nice, I like that. Thank you guys so much.
Peace out.
High five. I appreciate those kind words. Take care. See you guys.